Hi everybody and welcome back to Virtual Storytime at the Castle Shannon Library. This is our regularly scheduled songs and stories time at 10:30 on Thursdays. This week we are going to do another theme. Last week we did the Alexander stories and this week we're going to do 3 Disney princess stories. The first one that we're going to start with is Tangled, the story of Rapunzel. Hopefully you've seen this movie or you know a little bit about Rapunzel, but if not, you get to listen for the first time today. So this is Tangled, the story of Rapunzel. Once upon a time, in a land far away, a single drop of sunlight fell to the ground and grew into a magical golden flower that possessed healing powers. The only person who knew of the flower was a vain and selfish old woman named Mother Gothel. For centuries, she hoarded the flower and used it to restore her youth and beauty. One day, the beloved queen of the kingdom fell gravely ill. The townspeople searched far and wide until at last they found the legendary magical flower. Mother Gothel looked on in horror as they uprooted her treasured flower. The queen drank a potion containing the blossom and instantly recovered. Soon after, she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The king and queen launched a flying lantern into the sky to celebrate the princess's birth. One night, Mother Gothel crept into the nursery. Singing her secret song, she soon learned the flower's magic lived in the baby's hair. Mother Gothel greedily cut off a lock, but the hair turned brown and lost its power. To keep the magic, she snatched the child and vanished into the night. The king and queen were heartbroken. Each year on the princess's birthday, they released lanterns into the night sky, hopeful they'd see their daughter again. Mother Gothel raised the princess Rapunzel in a soaring tower in a hidden valley. She treated Rapunzel and her hair as prized possessions. The outside world is a dangerous place, Mother Gothel said, convincing Rapunzel to protect her magical hair by never leaving the tower. But being confined never dampened Rapunzel's bright spirit. She and her friend Pascal the chameleon did lots of activities, including Rapunzel's favorite, painting. On the day before her 18th birthday, Rapunzel wanted to break her routine. Each year, Rapunzel had seen mysterious lights floating up into the night sky on her birthday. She felt they were meant for her. More than anything, she wanted Mother Gothel to take her to see them. "Rapunzel, let down your hair," Mother Gothel called when she arrived at the tower. Rapunzel pulled her up, determined to ask her for her birthday wish. "I want to travel to see the floating lights," she blurted out. "Oh, you mean the stars," Mother Gothel lied. "That's the thing," countered Rapunzel. "I've charted stars, and they're always constant, but these, they appear every year on my birthday, only on my birthday. I have to know what they are." "Go outside?" asked Mother Gothel in shock. "Why, Rapunzel?" Mother Gothel insisted that the world outside was far too scary a place for a weak and helpless girl like Rapunzel. There were ruffians, men with pointy teeth, poison ivy, the plague, quicksand, and snakes. The menacing description of life beyond the tower terrified Rapunzel. "Don't ever ask to leave this tower again," Mother Gothel said, patting Rapunzel on her head. Rapunzel sighed and smiled weakly. Meanwhile, in another part of the forest, a thief named Flynn Rider was on the run with his cutthroat accomplices, the Stabbington brothers. Flynn clutched a satchel as he came to an abrupt halt in front of a wanted poster of himself. Surely he was more handsome in real life. Flynn looked up and saw the palace guards on the cliff above them. He ran with the precious satchel, ditching the Stabbingtons. The lead palace horse, Maximus, was already in hot pursuit. They just can't get his nose right. Flynn and Maximus furiously fought for the satchel until their battle landed them on a tree branch that extended over a cliff's edge. Flynn reached the bag just ahead of Maximus. "Ha ha!" the thief cowered triumphantly. Crack! The tree branch splintered and the arch nemesis both toppled into the canyon below. When they landed, Flynn took off, escaping the horse. As he felt his way along a rock face, he was thrilled to discover a hidden entrance to a cave. Scrambling inside, he soon emerged to an astonishing sight. There, in the center of a hidden valley, stood an enormous tower. It was the perfect hiding place. Using 2 arrows, Flynn scaled the tower, hopping through the open window, and breathed a sigh of relief. Clang! Rapunzel hit the intruder with her frying pan. He was out cold. Hastily, she stuffed him in a closet and propped a chair against the doors. Rapunzel felt exhilarated. Surely this act of bravery would prove to Mother Gothel that she could handle herself in the outside world. Noticing the satchel Flynn had dropped, Rapunzel reached inside and pulled out a gold crown encrusted with jewels. She had never seen such a thing before. When she placed it on top of her head, it fit perfectly. Rapunzel gazed into the mirror. Something seemed familiar. Rapunzel, let down your hair, Mother Gothel called. Rapunzel swiftly hit the crown and before pulling Mother Gothel up into the tower. She tried to tell Mother Gothel about her brave act, but Mother Gothel cut her off, screaming, "You are not leaving this tower, ever!" Rapunzel was shocked. Realizing Mother Gothel would never let her out of the tower, Rapunzel came up with an idea. She asked for some paint for her birthday, paint that could only be found very far away. Relieved, Mother Gothel agreed. "I'll be back in 3 days' time," she said. After Mother Gothel left, Rapunzel pulled Flynn out of the closet and tied him to a chair with her hair. When he swore he wasn't there to steal her hair, Rapunzel pointed to her painting of the floating lights. "Tomorrow they will light the night sky. You will act as my guide, take me to see them, and return me home safely. Then and only then will I return your satchel to you," declared Rapunzel. Flynn had no choice but to agree. Rapunzel was terrified. She had never been outside before. With Pascal on her shoulder, she leaped from her window and slid down her hair. Slowly she touched one foot to the soft grass, then the other. "Woohoo!" she exclaimed. Overcome with excitement, Rapunzel began to roll around on the ground. As Rapunzel explored the forest for the first time, she was filled with joy, but she also felt terrible guilt for betraying Mother Gothel. "Let's just turn around," Flynn suggested. "I get my satchel back, you get back a mother-daughter relationship based on mutual trust." Flynn failed to convince Rapunzel. "No, I am seeing those floating lanterns," she insisted. In another part of the forest, Mother Gothel ran into Maximus. Fearing guards had come for Rapunzel, she sprinted back to the tower and realized the awful truth. Rapunzel was gone. Investigating further, Mother Gothel found the glittering crown and Flynn's wanted poster. She knew exactly who had taken Rapunzel, and nothing was going to stop her from finding them. Desperate to get his satchel back, Flynn came up with a plan. He would convince Rapunzel to return to the tower by taking her to a little pub called the Snuggly Duckling. When they walked into the pub, Rapunzel came face to face with her worst fears. The place was filled with the most menacing thugs and ruffians imaginable. Flynn's plan worked. He was escorting a terrified Rapunzel to the exit when suddenly a huge thug slammed the door shut and held up Flynn's wanted poster. Quickly, the pub thugs captured Flynn and began fighting one another for the reward money. Excuse me? Ruffians?" Rapunzel broke in. "Is it possible to get my guide back?" The thugs just ignored her and continued to pummel Flynn. Rapunzel stood fiercely atop the bar and hit her pan against a giant pot. Pang! "Put him down," she commanded. The thugs stopped. Rapunzel explained that she needed Flynn to take her to see the lights. "Haven't any of you ever had a dream?" she asked. As it turned out, every one of the thugs had a dream. Suddenly, the royal guards burst into the pub, followed by Maximus and the Stabbingtons, the brothers now in shackles. "Where's Ryder? Where is he?" demanded the captain. Flynn and Rapunzel quickly escaped into a secret tunnel. Maximus sniffed out the secret passageway, and the horse and guards charged through the tunnel after them. From a window, Mother Gothel would watch the scene unfold. She realized Rapunzel hadn't been kidnapped. In fact, Rapunzel was the one in control. Approaching the first thug who came through the pub door, Mother Gothel demanded, "Where does that tunnel let out?" Meanwhile, the pursuers soon caught up with Flynn and Rapunzel in the tunnel. "Run!" Flynn cried. They raced out of the tunnel and skidded to a stop at the edge of an enormous cavern. Just as Maximus disarmed Flynn, Rapunzel threw Flynn her hair and held on tight as he leapt off the cliff and swung into the air. But Rapunzel and Flynn weren't safe yet. Flynn and Rapunzel swung down to the bottom of the cavern. The Stabbingtons, who had escaped their captors, sprinted after them. But a dam suddenly burst, filling the cavern with water. A giant wave washed the thugs away, along with Maximus and the guards. As Flynn and Rapunzel ducked into a cave, a stone column crashed to the ground, closing off the entrance. They were trapped! Water quickly began to fill the cave. Flynn cut his hand trying to escape. There was no way out, and the water was rising. "I'm so sorry, Flynn," Rapunzel said tearfully. "Eugene. My real name's Eugene Fitzherbert," Flynn admitted. Since they were telling secrets, Rapunzel declared, "I have magic hair that glows when I sing." Suddenly she realized her hair might be able to save them. Flynn was still reeling from Rapunzel's announcement when she began to sing and then dived underwater. He quickly joined her and was stunned to see her hair glowing so brightly it lit up the entire cave. Flynn spotted a small hole at the bottom. They had found their escape route. Finally free, they dragged themselves onto the shore. "We made it! We're alive!" exclaimed Rapunzel as she helped revive Pascal. Flynn was in a state of shock. "Her hair glows," he murmured in disbelief. "Why does her hair glow?" Rapunzel pulled her hair from the river and began wringing the water out of it. "It doesn't just glow," she said calmly. Somehow the Stabbingtons also managed to survive. Mother Gothel was waiting for Rapunzel at the tunnel's exit. When she saw the brothers emerge instead, she quickly formulated a plan. Tossing them the satchel with the crown, she said, "Well, if that's all you desire, then be on your way. I was going to offer you something worth 1,000 crowns, and it comes with revenge on Flynn Rider." 2 identical menacing grins spread across the brothers' faces. In a different part of the forest, Rapunzel wrapped her hair around Flynn's wounded hand. "Just don't freak out," she said. As Rapunzel began to sing, her hair once again emanated a bright glow. Within moments, Flynn's hand was healed. Rapunzel explained her hair's magic and spoke about Mother Gothel and the tower. "You never left that tower," Flynn said. Finally, he knew the truth. When Flynn left to gather more firewood, Mother Gothel emerged from the woods. She informed Rapunzel that they were returning to the tower. Rapunzel refused. She confessed that she had met Flynn and they liked each other. Mother Gothel laughed. She told Rapunzel that Flynn only wanted the crown. Before Gothel returned to the forest, she gave Rapunzel the crown and dared her to test Flynn's loyalties. When Flynn returned to the campfire, Rapunzel said nothing of her encounter. The next morning, Flynn was awakened abruptly. Maximus had found him. The horse grabbed Flynn's boot and started to drag him away. Luckily, Rapunzel saved him. Then she turned her attention to Maximus. "He's nothing but a big sweetheart," she said about the horse. Rapunzel begged the two to make a truce, at least for that day, her birthday. Maximus stuck out his hoof. Flynn extended his hand. They would cooperate for now. Just then, a bell rang in the distance. Rapunzel followed the sound through the forest and up a hill, where the entire kingdom came into view. It was breathtaking. Rapunzel gazed at the kingdom. Then she was off. Rapunzel sprinted down the hill with Flynn, Pascal, and Maximus close behind. Her dream was just hours from coming true. Rapunzel walked through the gates of the kingdom and into the hustle and bustle of the town. It was the most exciting thing she had ever experienced. A little boy sold Flynn a kingdom flag with a golden sun symbol on it that he gave to Rapunzel. Some little girls braided her long golden locks. Rapunzel then noticed a mosaic on the wall. She was mesmerized. It was of the king and queen holding a baby girl with striking green eyes, just like her own. Rapunzel and Flynn joined hands and began to whirl around the square. They were carried away by the music and the dance and the pure happiness they felt at being together. Later, Flynn led Rapunzel to a boat and rowed them to a spot with a perfect view of the kingdom. As lanterns filled the sky, Rapunzel's heart soared. Flynn handed Rapunzel her own lantern to send aloft. In return, Rapunzel gave Flynn the satchel that she had kept hidden all day. She was no longer afraid he would leave her once he had the crown. Their romantic moment was interrupted when Flynn spotted the Stabbington brothers on shore. He quickly rowed the boat to land. "I'll be right back," he told Rapunzel. Flynn was ready to give up his thieving ways, so he faced the brothers and gave them the satchel. But they weren't interested. They wanted Rapunzel and her magical hair. Flynn turned to protect Rapunzel, but the brothers knocked him unconscious, tied him up in a boat, and sent him sailing into the harbor. Rapunzel waited anxiously, but Flynn did not return. The Stabbingtons approached her instead. They pointed across the water where Rapunzel could clearly see Flynn steering a boat away from them. She called to him, but he didn't respond. Lying, one of the brothers explained that Flynn had traded her for the crown. In that moment, Rapunzel's heart broke. Mother Gothel had been right. Determined to escape, Rapunzel dodged the brothers and ran toward the forest. She didn't go far before she heard a scuffle and then Mother Gothel's voice. "Rapunzel! Mother!" Rapunzel ran back and found Mother Gothel standing over the brothers. They lay unconscious at her feet. "You were right, Mother," said Rapunzel tearfully. Meanwhile, Maximus watched from nearby as Flynn's boat sailed across the harbor and crashed into the kingdom's dock. The guards immediately threw him into prison. It was there that Flynn ran into the Stabbington brothers once again, locked in their own cell. They admitted that Mother Gothel had double-crossed them all. Suddenly, the pub thugs arrived. They broke Flynn out of jail and launched him over the prison wall right onto Maximus's back. The heroes were off to rescue Rapunzel. Back in the tower, Rapunzel held the small kingdom flag in her hand. She looked at the golden sun symbol, then gazed at her paintings on the ceiling and noticed something amazing. She'd been painting this kingdom symbol her entire life. A series of images flashed through her mind. The lanterns released each year, the mosaic of the royal family, the crown she had found. Suddenly, Rapunzel realized the shocking truth. "I'm the lost princess," she proclaimed to Mother Gothel. Rapunzel caught Mother Gothel's arms as the scheming woman tried to justify her actions. "You were wrong about the world, and you were wrong about me, and I will never let you use my hair again." Mother Gothel wrestled her arm away and fell backward into a mirror, shattering it. "You want me to be the bad guy?" she asked. "Fine. Now I'm the bad guy." Flynn and Maximus soon arrived at the tower. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," Flynn called. Golden hair cascaded to the ground. Relieved, Flynn began to climb. "Rapunzel, I thought I'd never see you again," he said as he stepped through the window, but it wasn't Rapunzel who was waiting for him. Mother Gothel captured and wounded Flynn. Rapunzel, who was bound in the middle of the room, watched in horror. As Flynn collapsed to the floor, Mother Gothel dragged Rapunzel toward the trap door. But Rapunzel fought Gothel with all her strength. "For every minute of the rest of my life, I will fight. I will never stop trying to get away from you. If you let me save him, I will go with you. I promise." Mother Gothel agreed and untied her. She knew Rapunzel never broke a promise. Rapunzel rushed to Flynn's side and placed her hair over his wound. "No, Rapunzel, I can't let you do this," Flynn pleaded. He would rather die than allow Rapunzel to be imprisoned forever by Mother Gothel. Flynn touched Rapunzel's cheek and smiled at her. Then he grabbed one of the shards of the broken mirror and cut off her hair. It instantly turned brown and lost its healing power. With the magical hair gone, Mother Gothel instantly aged hundreds of years and turned to dust. Rapunzel grabbed Flynn's hand and held it against what was left of her hair. She began to sing, but the magic was gone. Flynn closed his eyes and his head fell back. He was gone. As Rapunzel began to cry, a golden tear fell upon Flynn's cheek. Suddenly, the tear began to glow and spread across Flynn's body, healing his wound completely. Flynn's eyes opened again. Rapunzel wrapped her arms around him, and the two of them shared their first kiss. Flynn and Maximus took Rapunzel straight to the castle. The king and queen rushed to embrace her, overcome with joy that their daughter had finally been returned to them. Rapunzel felt her parents' love surround her, and they all held tightly to one another, a family once more. The entire kingdom celebrated Princess Rapunzel's return. Hundreds of glowing lanterns were once again launched into the sky. Their light had finally guided Rapunzel home. Along with the dreams of their friends and family, Rapunzel and Flynn's dreams came true. They found everlasting love and happiness and lived happily ever after. And that is the end. So hopefully you enjoyed the story of Rapunzel and Tangled. If you would like to hear more Disney Princess stories, you can come back at 11:30 and at 4 o'clock today for 2 more story times. We hope you're all doing well at home, and we can't wait to see you back at the library as soon as possible. Have a good day.